It's a joy for me to be able to join us this morning and to be able to reflect together on the work that we have been doing over the years. It's interesting because as we gather today, it's been 10 years of the Budget Facilitators program. We now have a budget facilitator in each of the 47 county, minus 3. In the next couple of months, we should be able to have a budget facilitator in every county. In total number, we now have about 100 budget facilitators across the country. As we come to this graduation today, I really want to take this opportunity to really appreciate each of you and challenge you that regardless of the bus you find or you are given, be the good driver. Because a good driver driving a faulty bus is far much better than a rogue driver driving a new bus.
For me, it's to congratulate everybody who is graduating here and the great team that has supported them. As Uraia Trust, we are very happy and we are glad to have such a strategic partner that is advocating for budget transparency.
I think something unique about this program, the 5th cohort, was that it was not necessarily an open call. So we were targeting counties where we've not had anyone before within the program. So first of all was the concern, are we even going to get someone from there? And especially the northeastern counties, which are often forgotten. I think for me, what I have noticed even with the facilitators is the resilience in terms of breaking ground when it comes to budget work in those counties where nothing was happening, at least not at a very big scale, compared to counties where this has been happening, for a very long time.
I've really learned a lot. Initially, kwa budget making process, PWDs tulikuwa tunachua sana nyuma. And with the training, tumemanage kutengeneza our disability cost region hub in unit under the hub, na tutaanza kuimplement our activities after Ramadan. Na pia tumemanage pia kusubmit a few memorandums.
Through the training, I gained a lot of knowledge. I didn't know. In fact, before this training, I didn't know a single budget document. I didn't know that there was a budget cycle. Nothing. Nilikuwa green mbaya. But sasa now through the training, I've been able to gain a lot of knowledge. I know who to engage on what matter. I know when to engage. I know who requires which information. And I'm able now to bring on board my friends, my colleagues, the PWDs, and tell them that this is the direction.
The program has provided a solid foundation, not only in technical content, but also through the practical structure, including the mock session and peer engagement, which have been instrumental in shaping my approach to public finance work. Stepping into the role of a budget facilitator, my next step is to scale this work, amplifying the community voices, mentoring others, and deepening forward to catalyze youth-led advocacy.
Everyone's voice matter, and sometimes we have this groups of people who are left behind whenever we are advocating for our needs, and it's very essential for us to include them in the work that we are currently doing.
At a personal level, being given that I am a person with visual impairment, interacting with the documents, analyzing has been a challenge, and therefore it calls for me having somebody close to me so that I'm able now to go through them and do the necessary analysis.
When one of our facilitators who's visually impaired joined us, we had to go back to the drawing board in terms of we have these training materials. They are all in hard copy, but we also want him to actively participate and take part in the activities, the classroom activities that we are doing and all that. And so we had to take the materials we are giving other participants in hard copy and ask him what would be the preferred mode of delivery. How do you prefer to receive or to access such materials? and we actually printed the training materials in Braille.
By the time we got to Cohort 5, then we had a bit more persons from such marginalized groups that then applied for the program. And we feel that has also improved the quality of how we do the trainings and how budget materials are developed, how they are applied, and how they can reach more people beyond just the usual culprit.
One of the stories that have really impacted me and my county, Vihiga, was we had an advocacy on comprehensiveness of the budget documents that included the budget directors, CCM Finance, Chief Officer, and the people in the executive office, including the county assembly. After this meeting, after this lobbying with them on the comprehensiveness of these documents, the next document that was to be looked into was the CBROP. And it really came as a big impact where the government invited CCM Finances for this public participation, and it was also made public, and public views were requested for, and even in the website we had a whole advertisement seeking for public views on CBROP. And during this public participation, people got to engage deeply with the CCMs of different sectors, like the agriculture sector, the youth sector. The health sector didn't make it, but 5 whole CCMs came, and it was really engaging. And from there, we've seen a significant improvement on the comprehensiveness of our budget documents, and it is a plus for us, for we get to have more information that we are looking for in the documents.
For us as Budget Hub, that we've actually done a training that has brought on board at least one budget facilitator from all the 47 counties. That was the first goal, was to cover the whole country, right? Numerically, just make sure we have a budget facilitator in each of the counties. But secondly, one of the big lessons also we've learned is that it's quite common to get Kenyans talking about challenges they are facing in their counties, in their wards, in their villages and their communities. But also that has been the place that has really helped to get the kind of capacity that people get from this program to connect to the real needs of people.
The knowledge that we got here and having evidence advocacy has really improved on the results that come after advocacy.
That I have been able to increase my knowledge in terms of how do I engage the communities and the government throughout the planning and budgeting processes.
There is a revolution that Budget Hub has brought. The generation that knows what budget is, what are budget processes, what are these key documents that you need to participate. So I can say that is what it has transformed. It has transformed also in social, in a social way, in terms of looking for partnership. I don't need to write a lot of a proposal, but I need to express myself.
It has been an opportunity for me to also engage with the budget processes as a citizen of Nyandarua County.
The stories of impact have been many and diverse. And the number of people who tell us, even who we did not know, that we've worked with your budget facilitators, we've worked with your budget champions, I think vindicates one area where we thought they will become a resource for others as well. So there's a lot of benefits that have come from this program that go even beyond what we anticipated with the initial objectives.
This has been quite fulfilling experience. I have learned a lot in terms of what happens in some of the 22 counties that we have interacted with the individuals from there. And I am really confident that what we have done over the last year and leading into this year 2025 is going to result into something great for our country. Yeah, at some point we look back and say, there was a point in time where it seemed like we were making very small steps, but we are now somewhere.
The beauty of working in teamwork, and that is through the budget champions that we were engaging. So as a facilitator, getting the capacity build and also engaging other people, it makes the results to be more compact and collective, because the PFM space is not a loner space. It is not a one-man show. It calls for collective efforts.
Since I was trained back in 2016-17 financial year, I've seen value of my work increasing by day, especially how the stakeholders respond. The communities have, taken the civic actions or even taken their responsibility more seriously. Now getting, to understand what happens behind the scenes in terms of those budget decisions. At the same time, government taking us more seriously because they see us backing our propositions with, information from budget documents, with data, and that helps to solidify our propositions in budget, in terms of budget, in the budget decisions.
The training is just one step. Working with these budget facilitators after the training, including them as researchers in the researches that we are doing analysis together through the regional budget hubs. That has also created a profile of credibility for the work that they do, but secondly has given us an avenue of continuing to improve and learn together with the capacity that they already had just from the training. That the materials have to be relevant, have to be contextualized to now, and that it must be open to improvement over time. But that improvement has come from very many quarters. It's come from, our own work, has come from the budget facilitators and budget champions. It's come from what we are learning as the laws have changed, as new laws have come on board. And also it has come from a lot of things that also we borrow from what is happening around the world. It's really content that is developed for a very local context, but it has a very global view as well.
But you see how the program is structured is such that we're not just training you. In a way, we are also training your communities or your organizations through you, because there's a requirement that once you have been trained, then you will pass this knowledge down to other people.
The people you engage with, ensure you empower them enough to be able to carry on their work.
Way forward is just empowering more people, educating more people, bringing up more champions so that I don't have to do it by myself, but we have to do it separately but together.
To leverage on any meetings and where PWDs will be engaged, even more than I have done before, so that I can continue the same gospel.
The PWDs and generally people who champion for inclusivity say nothing for us without us. We'll all co-create strategies that will enhance inclusivity and equity in budget decision making.
And I'm hoping that as they go into such spaces, they will be opening doors for their budget champions to come in, for their CSO networks to come in. But really what we've developed here is a pipeline of creating thought leadership in PFM beyond just community facilitators. And I'm really proud that that is something that is panning out in many of these counties.
And that we are here to support them. The regional hubs are here to support them, Budget Hub is still here to support them, and we are keen to see them prosper, not just for what is in it for them as individuals, but also for what is in it for them and their communities and their counties, but also for our nation.
Is to say congratulations and we celebrate you for choosing to be part of this program. Each of you has said ilikuwa ngumu, ilikuwa rigorous, there was Carol, there were so many other things. So you chose to continue with the rigorous program for the 9 months, and we hope that you'll keep doing what you're doing. And I want to request all the phenomenal women in this room to come to the front so that then we can be able to cut this cake. Congratulations!